Ken's in here.
everybody.
Roxanne. That's a,
Ken just realized you're all here. Hi, Roxanne. Nice to see you from Kansas. Regina, my friend. I hope North Georgia is not as nasty as it is in Wisconsin and Michigan. I went down to Wisconsin today. We had some rainstorms that were horrendous. Janice, hi from Massachusetts. Debbie from a very hot Glendale, Arizona. How hot is it in Glendale? I'm sure it's melting temperatures. Linda, hi from New York. Nice to see you. Janice does watch on YouTube all the time, and I find, Regina, that the YouTube probably is the better way to go. It's much easier for Sarah and Ken here to monitor and get answers out to you all. And you're right, Debbie, you do watch on YouTube all the time.
Well,
Sandy from Tampa, good morning or good afternoon from Florida. And Lee from Indiana, you are here, and so are we. Debbie says hi to Kathy, Ken, and Sarah.
got it.
Raining and a few thunderstorms, Virginia. Yeah, that's what we've had here too. It wasn't really a good day to take a ride, but we needed to do it, so we did. Ada's here, Carla's here, Oklahoma City. Always think of the musical Oklahoma. Charlene is from Colorado. Oh, Connie is from Oregon. You're way up. And then Mount Vernon for Jean. And yes, you're exactly right. Facebook, Linda Shell does have a kind of a lag, it seems like. It really does. Judy Paul from Greenleaf, Wisconsin. Well, that's interesting, Judy, because you're not all that far away from us. Welcome, Linda. Oh, Linda's in warm El Paso, Texas. Awesome. Sandy's here from Massachusetts. And Jan O'Grady, hot, no rain predicted for southeast Nebraska. Hang in there. Maybe we'll go ahead and send it back out your way, Jan. Lynn from Waterford, Wisconsin. Now it's our neighbor, Dee from New England. Judith from Kentucky, and Melanie from Wyoming. Okay, the reason I came on here just a little bit early, guys, is I'm using new camera setup. Wanted to make sure that everything looks good, and by golly, it looks great. I'm really pleased with it. Nancy's here from Victoria, Australia. Welcome so much. Charlene switched over to YouTube. Do you like it better, or don't you have time to haven't you had time to make a decision? Tonight, we are going to do Judy Peace from the UP of Michigan, just north of us. Welcome, Judy. It's nice to see you. And Sue Long from Texas. Yeah. Feast or famine. I know what you're saying, Jan, because that seems to be what we get to. So what I'm going to do tonight is this is going to be rather. I've got a lot to show you. I really do. I've done some Christmas in July projects. Okay, did you hear that? Went boom. Okay. I don't know if that was somebody's phone or if that was my little spring
and my watch
and his watch. Okay, I didn't know if it was my little spring-loaded boom here that I'm working on tonight. Okay, so what I want to show you is this is a little table runner that I did. I think,
It's a notification about you.
Ken just got notified that I'm live.
And your 906 quilting is working.
And the 906 quilting is working. I'm so happy. Good. So anyway, this one, what I did was I took the different templates, and this one, can anybody guess what this one was? I guess a while back you just had to, yeah. Pauline, good afternoon. How are you? So this particular design is actually done with a holly leaf. Basically a holly leaf. I'm not going to show you this one tonight. I'm going to show you something else that we can do with the holly leaf. We are going to work tonight with the 2x3-inch holly leaves. We've got a lot of different templates for Christmas from DM Quilting, and they come in a lot of different sizes, and there's a couple samplers. And I really want you to, after you see this live tonight, hopefully you're going to be able to look at it and say, you know, those are the sizes I like, and those are the ones I want. If you don't, if you're still kind of on the fence about certain ones, if you want to contact me, I'll be happy to walk you through it, okay? Now, the holly has berries on it, doesn't it? So we are going to use this, but not to make this. I'm going to show you the next one. This is just an awesome little border that we can do with our hollies, and I'm going to show you an even better border than that. Now this one, and you see I am using template on these. If you look at this one, it's going to be kind of weird to see. However, it's Christmas trees. I use Christmas trees. I use berries. I use straight, my 12-inch arc. And what I loved about this one, and I did it both ways. I did it where I kept the Christmas trees red in here and cut everything out. And then I kept the background red in here and cut out the Christmas trees. So I did both ways. Both ways, I loved it. When I first started drawing this one out to make it, I thought it was going to be extremely difficult because of the way that the tree template has this big kind of edge to edge thing, so we can hold them together. Turns out that was a blessing. We really didn't need that. Sugarland, Texas. And that is going to be Lisa. Good afternoon from Sugarland. Okay. The other one that we're going to concentrate on today is made with this one. Obviously, it's a much larger size, but it's made with bells. And the bells have what we call clackers, and they also have little hanging rings that we can use on them. Okay, not sure if we're going to do that. But what I want to show you here is I want to show you when I'm talking about rotations, this is, and I don't know if we're going to have time to do the rotations with the bell. This is the bell, and this is an 8-point rotation with the bell. It gives you so much, there's so much dimension in this, and you can really come up with some really dynamite template in here, especially if you were to put 2 layers of reveal fabric. Then we come over on this one, and here is just a little one I drew together, put together, and of course it's our holly leaves. And in the center, it does come up with a really nice little motif. But what I did was I took part of that motif out and I put the holly berries in there. So those are really, really nice too. This is not my favorite as far as a holly leaf border, but you know, if you like that, you know, it works. It really does. And the nice thing about the holly leaves is they turn corners beautifully. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you, and I really am hoping I'm going to have time to actually show you more, is we also have a candy cane. Okay, so with our candy cane, we can come up with some really pretty, and I mean pretty. I love all of the geometrical shapes in this. And this is done with an 8-point crosshairs, just 8-point. And this is done with 4. Now, if you're doing modern quilts, this can't be any better. For a modern quilt, I think it is absolutely stunning. So let's go ahead and start making some of these.
She's trying to climb right up on my.
And we're going to start. We are going to start with. What are we going to start with, guys? What are we going to start with? Let's go ahead and start with our tree. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back down. And you'll see this is the one we worked on. This is the block we worked on last week. And I just went ahead and made some extra spaces in it. And we're going to go ahead and put the tree on it. Now, when this is kind of the little bit of trickiness about the tree. And that is where exactly we're going to put it on the corner. So what I like to do, and let me show you here. I like to measure when we're doing a tree on a border. I'm going to measure from edge to edge, here to here, not including the seam allowances. And the reason we do that, if I can find, there it is, my good old trusty measuring device. Okay, so this is 12. This is 13 and a half, so that means my entire piece was 14 inches. So I've chosen my halfway mark. Okay, so here I'm going to come, this is 12, not 12 and a half. Get that right over the top there because I want you to see that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my center, and it is going to be 6 inches. And there it is. Okay. Now, once we get to that, we're going to pick up. Wow, guys, I'm losing everything here tonight. Okay. This is a 2-inch by 3-inch design, which means from this edge to this edge is 3 inches. Okay. 3 inches is divisible by 12, or 12 is divisible by 3. So if I were to put my first tree here in the center, it's going to stop here and here. So now I'm going to come over here and put my second tree in the center, and it's going to stop here. Now I'll come here to the corner, and it's only going to make a half a tree, and it's going to make it in the wrong direction. So what I did was I came, and then I'm going to measure halfway on this side, and it's going to be right here. And I went ahead and I put my 45-degree line in right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and extend that line down. Okay, so are y'all with me so far? Yes, Janice, the 4 candy canes do look like a Celtic design. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. I just love them. Hotlanta. Kim is in Hotlanta. I'm glad to hear we're not the only ones who call it Hotlanta. Okay, so no questions, it looks like. So what I do is I come here and I am lining up the center of my tree, knowing, and I know this, and I'm okay with it, guys, knowing that this is not going to meet this point on the left or the point on the right. We are only concerned with where we drew those lines. Okay, so this is going to be just a little smaller. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to, and I already checked my template. And what you're going to see is I'm kind of going to go over this other motif here a little bit. Don't worry about that. Whoops. Did I knock you guys from here to outer space? I certainly hope not. Always striving for better there we go. Are you seeing that upside down or is that right side up? Okay, Linda. Yep, I knew you've got dinner going. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in this orientation. And the reason I want to do that is because I want you to see easily where this goes. And then as we move around, I can always flip the orientation by flipping the block.
You just said it's upside down.
It is upside down, yeah. And it is upside down for me. So just so you know, the tip of it is facing me at this point. Normally what we do when we hold templates upside down like this is because we want you to see the stitching. I find that to be important. Linda. Well, Linda, hi. I've been thinking about you so much lately. How are you doing? It's so good to see you. Thanks, Ada. Yeah, you know it's upside down. Okay, I'm going to take my first stitch in place. Now, a couple places where we really want to be careful on this template. One, we're coming up on right now. I like to move my hand, hold down, so that this little piece that sticks out, that little protrusion right there, is flat onto the top of the block. Then you might want to move your hands out of the way just a little bit so that your needle bar doesn't get you. Go ahead, take your time. Susie's here. Great to see you, Susie. Glad you made it. Stormy there. Awesome. Sounds like you had some company today. That's always good company when it's the grands. Okay, and out we're going to go. Out we're going to go again. Now, if you happen to have any of the stars, you could always put a star on top of the tree. That is definitely, we have enough stars now to do that. Okay, so there's my first tree. I've got my needle down and I'm going to cut my threads so that I don't end up in a mess here, which I've been known to do. There we go. Now I'm going to switch it around. Okay, So this is the way that you might prefer to look at it. And now as I'm looking at this, I am thinking, because I used a bigger tree on this one, my tree is going to go over itself on the diagonal line. That's fine. It can. It's not a problem. Come back down. Again, that protrusion, you want to make sure that that stays down nice and flat. And we're going to come over and we are going to stop. There. Now, when we come over to the diagonal, this is literally how we're going to have to set this up. I'm going to bring it down. I want you to see it well. I'm kind of liking this new arm. I can move it anywhere I want it. And I can do it smoothly without sending anybody over into motion sickness.
Off the edge of the earth.
Ken says off the edge of the earth. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to come back up. Watch that protrusion again. Other than those two protrusions, these are really beautiful, soft curves that we're working with. And around we're going to go. You want to keep that stitch length just a little bit shorter because we are working with curves. Now, I'm doing this on the inside of the block, but just so you're aware, you could do the same design on the outside of the block, having the leaves come out, or having the trees come out, and that looks awesome too. So now I'm going to go ahead, put my tree base in, line it up, and we're going to make one more tree here. Okay, now we've done a couple rotations with it upside down looking at us. And this is the second rotation with the trees facing away from us. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to have Ken count your votes. So you can tell me whether you like watching it upside down or right side up. If you like it upside down, put a U in there. If you like it right side up, put an R in there. And then we'll know. And then we're going to just go ahead and we're going to keep on all the way around. This will work, guys. This will work. And it's fun. It's just fun. If you're interested in learning more about these, of course, we do have these on the university. And I think part of this is a free class. I'm really not sure. Sometimes we get kind of mixed up on what's on there and what isn't, and what's free and what's, what you need to pay for. Now, if you didn't like how this was touching each other, actually, it's not a problem, because what you could do is you could make this line shorter. So what I mean by that is, instead of stopping here, you may decide that you want to stop here. And to do that, we have these nice itty bitty handy dandy. Listen to me, itty bitty handy dandy. Whoops. Our little stickers. And if we put them there, then we know exactly where to stop. And what will happen is then we will have the trees themselves will be closer together and it will leave more room in the center. Okay. Does that make any sense? Upside down to see everything better, Jan. Carlos says both ways. It's good to see them both. Right side, upside down. E for either way. Debbie, I should have known you would come up with something different. I love it. So right side. So basically, we'll do them both ways, okay? And everybody will get the idea. But isn't this just kind of fun? And then when I did this, I just came in on these curves. Let me pull this out for you again. And I just did some echo stitching. And on the inside, I echo stitched here and just used my berries to go ahead and pull that together. And what I did with my berries is I placed my halfway mark here. And there's my berries. This might be the wrong size, but you'll get the idea. I placed my berries there, and then I went to this side, came back, and went to this side. That way, when I knew I was going to have a partial berry, but I wanted the same amount being taken up by this grass or tree line as I wanted on here. And what you're going to see, this one isn't perfect. I don't think any of them are exactly perfect. I think this one's better. You can see it more. And some of that has to do too as to how your fabric is pulling together as you're stitching. Now, the nice thing about the berries is that Donna put etched berries next to the one that we were stitching so that we had those for placement. And that was very, very helpful. That is very helpful. This is a beautiful set. Okay, so we've got our trees. Now you're all tree expert, right? Hi, Patsy from New Mexico. Patsy, New Mexico, depending on where you are, doesn't have a whole lot of trees, does it? I guess up in the higher elevations, there's a lot. We went through the higher elevations. We were up around 8,000 feet, and it was gorgeous. Oh, it was just beautiful up there. I could definitely have stayed there for a while. Too much snow in the winter, though. Okay, so the next one I want to do for you, let's do the ivy or the holly. You know what? I always get holly and ivy mixed up. I don't know why I do that. Maybe I know somebody by the name of, I do know somebody by the name of Ivy. That could be why. Okay, so on this particular template, I've got 2 different sizes plus the leaf. And before we leave tonight, I'm going to show you all of these because this tonight was supposed to be from the sampler set 1. It appears I didn't have the sampler set 1. I may have lent it to someone and did get it back. But I do have all of these templates. They're just in different sets.
Bend, Oregon.
Bend, Oregon.
And Pineville, Oregon.
And Pineville, Oregon. Wow, Deanna, Sam, so nice to see you. Anita's in Missouri, the Show Me State. Okay, So what I'm going to do here is I am going to take, oh, yeah, this one. Okay, there we go. We're going to take this and we are going to make, let me see here. And then that's going to go like this. So this is going to go like this. And this is not going to, it's going to fit, but it's going to be real tight, guys. So let's do the smaller one, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start at the center. And you can do that. It's perfectly fine to do that, to start at the center. Now, these lines, how do these lines help us? This line and this line come together, imaginary, of course, right here where our needle does. So if we want this nice and straight, we're going to use the center line. And I just did that whole thing off camera. Okay, we're going to do it again so you all can see it. Okay, what I've got here is a corner. And I have put a 45-degree line through it. And I'm going to start at the corner and work my way in. You don't have to do that. You can start in the inside and work your way out, work your math. You know how to do it. It will work fine. But this time I wanted to live dangerously. Okay.
Hot Arizona. Lori.
Lori is in where, Arizona?
Hot.
Hot Arizona. Oh, Spencerport. Pamela, it looks like you and Diane are very close together. Okay, so here we're going to do, I'm going to pull my thread up right on the corner.
Hot Arizona. Suburb of Phoenix.
Hot Arizona, Kansas is a suburb of Phoenix. Any suburb of Arizona is hot right now. Okay, take my little stitch in place. Make sure that you can see me well. I'll pull it up. You guys, I'm having too much fun with this. Look at how nice I can pull it. Okay, so one stitch here in place. And then remember, these are little hills and valleys. They're not huge hills and valleys, but they are hills and valleys all the same. And remember, we want a shorter stitch length. We want to take our time so that we don't end up with big stitches and little stitches together. These are things I have so many students ask me, when are my stitches going to be perfect? Well, that's real easy, never. Okay, it's true. It's never going to be perfect. And the reason it's never going to be perfect is because we are humans. We are not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect. Okay, so it's all right. It's all right. We're just going to do the best we can. And people are going to look at your work and they're going to admire it. If they show you mistakes on your quilts, then what you do is you tell them to get away from your quilt. Thank you very much. And you don't even have to be nice or nasty about it. I mean, you could be nice about it. Just tell them straight out. My quilt's too good for you. No, to the best of my knowledge, I have never come across anyone who says your quilt's not good enough. Except those few quilt police out there. There are a few out there, but I think we're losing them
Guilds.
pretty quickly now. Not necessarily guilds, but we call them quilt snobs, where, you know, if you don't, these are people who say, well, if you don't hand quilt your quilt, it's not quilting. Baloney, it is too. That's how I feel about it. Hey, I'd like to see them try and do this. I'll bet you we could learn hand quilting easier than they could learn machine quilting, some of them. But then, alas, there's some of us, like myself, who've never learned how to hand quilt. I wouldn't have the faintest idea. I do know that you have to rock a needle, and I tried rocking a needle, and all I managed to do was rock that needle into one of my fingers, so I gave up on it. I didn't try very hard or for very long. Okay, isn't that cute? That's just a little 3-piece. And then what we're going to do is we are going to grab that file folder because I think I have some smaller circles in there, and we can make some little itsy bitsy teeny tiny holly berries. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, I've got bigger ones. I've got, okay. I think I found them. Awesome, guys. Now, this is where it gets fun. This is where you can use your template and have a couple layers of it, and actually a couple layers of reveal fabric.
Rhonda asked what size foot you're using.
What size foot?
Yes.
I am using my Westerly 1/4-inch ruler foot.
Okay.
Yes. Or were you asking, is it a high shank, low shank, slant shank, or medium shank? Debbie, I'm with you. I don't have any real ambition to hand quilt. Somebody asked what size foot I'm making, and my question is, are you talking about the shank size?
There's only one size foot.
Correct. Ken just said it. There's only one size foot, and I'm going to finish up this last berry here, and then I'm going to show you what I mean by that, okay? And look at our little berries. Aren't they sweet? Now, if you had a red reveal fabric, you could cut those out, and you could have just a beautiful little berries on there. The other thing is if you have maybe a gold or a red fabric on top, and you used a reveal fabric in green for the leaves and then red for the berries. Okay, I'm going to take my foot off. I'm going to take my foot off here because I want to show you some things about the foot, okay? It's been a while since we've gone through this, so let's do this very quickly. All of the feet for the Westerly ruler feet are the same in this respect.
Dimension.
And what it is, just what Ken just said, the dimensions all the same. From the needle to the outside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down here. I want to make sure you can see it really well. Oof, you can. I put my needle down and put my foot on where it belongs. There we go. So from the needle to anywhere on the outside edge of this foot is 1/4 inch. Okay. And we are going to take and we are going to run our templates along the edge of this foot, which means all of our stitches are going to be 1/4 inch away from the edge of the template. Okay. Now, where we get into sizes with the foot is we have different shanks on our machines. Okay. This is a Singer 301.
The slant shank.
And it is a slant shank. Correct. And I also have, oh, could you take the foot off of that Juki right there for me, honey?
I don't know, can I?
Hmm? Yeah,
Well, it's a little tiny.
it's a little tiny one, yeah.
In the meantime, there's a question from Anita.
Okay, Anita, well, we're getting our feet off here. Does that template come in a long arm with the key? That is a really good question. I do believe that all of the long arm templates have keys. They do not have the needle channel, but I could be wrong. So Anita, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to go to the Sew Study site and go to the instructors page. My information is all there. Please give me a call tomorrow if you'd like. I will definitely put that question in the morning and find out if they are, and I do believe they are, but you can't take my word for it because I don't have a long arm, so I don't have the long arm templates. I'm sorry, but we'll get you that answer, Anita, okay? All righty.
Back to the feet.
Back to the feet. So you'll see that this area here is shorter than this area here. And the reason being is
Long shank machine.
this,
You're out of camera. There you go.
okay, this right here is the shank. Okay, this one is shorter than a tall shank or a high shank machine. Okay, so we have short shank, we have slant shank, and the short shank are only like this tall. They're really, really tiny. I'm going to pull you back out so you can see more clearly. There we go. That's a lot clearer.
Put them side by side again, honey.
I will.
Okay.
Slant shank, high shank. And I do have a low shank here someplace. I know I do. I do right here. Boy, sometimes I surprise myself. This is a low shank. Okay.
Carol Whaley, hello.
Hi, Carol. How are you tonight? So, when you are working with which foot do I need? Low shank, slant shank, high shank. And there's also a high shank special. What you would first do is go to your local quilting store. They will have a chart there. If they sell these Sew Study products, and that will tell them which foot they need, which foot you need. If they don't, you can call Sew Study direct, tell them you want to order a foot. They will ask for the make and the model of your sewing machine, and they will ensure that you get the correct foot for your machine. Okay?
The one thing that you should mention is the difference between the straight shank and the Singer 301. It's like a 9-degree angle.
Right.
That's why it's an angle, a slant shank.
Right. There's a 9-degree angle to the shank with the Singer 301. It doesn't, as you can see, these go straight up and down. Here and here goes straight up and down. This doesn't. This is actually on an angle, be it ever so slight, but it is on an angle, and that's because the needle arm is a slant needle arm like this. Now, some people also want to know, what size does the featherweight take? Featherweight takes a short shank. But let's talk a little bit about featherweight. If you want to do quilting, roller quilting on the featherweight machine, what you have to understand is that their feed dogs do not drop. So what I suggest you do is take an index card, just punch a hole in it, and tape it down over your feed dogs. That is the best way to set that machine up. Singer does have several different metal caps that go over the feed dogs
Needle plate. Yeah.
and the needle plate. However, because they are set higher than the bed of the machine, when you're putting the templates on them, they can rock. And you don't want your templates rocking because you can accidentally then have your needle come down onto your template. It will break the needle, it will break the template, and it very possibly could throw your machine out of time, causing you to have to take it in and have it serviced. So what we did in my family, Ken went out and bought this absolutely gorgeous Singer 301. Many of you have already seen it, and there it is. Okay, that's my Singer 301. And there's my husband right behind it. Say hi, Ken.
Not mine anymore.
And he says, it's not mine anymore. He's absolutely right. The first time I tried it, I took it and I wouldn't give it back to him. He had to go buy another one. This to me has been an absolutely perfect machine for me. Okay. I'm not saying it's a perfect machine for everybody, but it has been the perfect machine for me. It's a straight stitch machine. It goes forwards, it goes backwards, and that's all it does. I am my own stitch regulator. I am my own needle up, needle down function, and you get used to it. You really do. And you get to a point where sometimes the automatic machines kind of like, I don't know, they get kind of bossy and take over or something. So yeah, try different things. Don't be afraid to try different things. Now, I also have a Juki. It's a 4000. It's an absolutely beautiful machine. And when I'm working on big quilts, that's the machine I am working on, because if I try with my 301, and heaven forbid, I would never try with a featherweight, the weight of the quilt can move the table of the machine and the machine around. Okay. I also use desk pads. It helps. It really does help a lot. So, okay, but we have to get back to what we're here to do, and that's celebrate Christmas in July.
You owe me a foot.
Who owes you a foot?
You do.
I owe Ken a foot?
You owe me a foot for this machine.
Oh, thank you. I had to stop and remember which foot it was. Okay, thank you for keeping track of that. Yeah, that's the other thing. You kind of got to keep track of these feet. These templates all come in long arm. Yes, they do, Charlene. Yes, they do. Okay, now, once I've got my little corner put in here. Oh, and the hooligans just showed up.
Thank you, sir.
They acted like they wanted to go in the bedroom, but then they barked.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's kind of a routine.
Yeah. I think girls, they like coming up here when we're doing this.
Yeah, and they all want to sit on my lap.
They all want to sit on Sarah's lap and look at what's going on. I think it's kind of cute. Anyway. Good thing we all think our kids and our dogs and our kittens are cute, hey? Even chickens, right, Sarah? Sarah had chickens for a while, and she thought they were cute. Actually, some of them would come running when she'd take the treat bag out. I don't know. I don't get it.
Shake the treats. And they come on.
Shake the treats. Here come the chickens. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go around. I started at the point where I had my berries, and I'm going to stop at that same point. I'm not going to move my template though. I have to now make a couple of decisions. Okay.
Fingers.
One is, do I want to double stitch on the right side? Do I want to double stitch on the left side? Or one is, do I really want to double stitch on either side?
Everybody wants to see the dogs.
Everybody wants to see the dogs. Where are they?
Do you want me to see if there's pictures on here?
No, there won't be. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this, and then we'll round up the dogs for you. We have 3 of them. Okay, so I'm going to opt not. I mean, you guys all know how to stitch around the right, how to stitch around the left. I'm going to do something a little different, though. I decided that I'm going to put just a nice soft line in until I hit the tip of that holly leaf. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to put another one in. And around we're going to go. And I'm back to where I began. And again, I'm just going to make a nice, very soft line to the next holly leaf. So what I've got, I'm going to take this out because I'm out of space here. I can show you again on the other one. So what I've got, you'll see, is just a really sweet little line of holly leaves lined up in a row like Littleton's alders. Okay, and that would be on the edge. Now again, here I can bring in and put some berries here, and that wouldn't be the worst thing either, now would it? We could just put a couple small ones there, and that would definitely dress it up. Okay, I'm going to come here. And down we go. Again, this is a great way to use 2 reveal fabrics. And come over here and just move it over and move it like this. Okay. And we're just gonna, so here we've got our little berries, and we can go all the way around like that. Now there is another way that we can do this, and I'm going to do it with a smaller template, but I think it's a little bit, it would be better with a little larger template because it's just a little bigger type of design. If I can find my templates again. Okay, there's my bigger one.
What is wrong with them?
You just want attention full time.
Do you see my
Which one, Mom?
The only way you're going to get these guys on camera is to bribe them with a trick
Yeah, I know that. This one.
later.
Yeah, we know the tricks.
Yeah, we will. We'll bribe them so you get to see them. I'm sorry, I just hit you. Okay, so let's go on this way with the hollies, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start here. I want to make sure I'm doing this right, because if I'm not, it's going to look really dorky. Okay. It's not like I've ever done anything that looks dorky before,
I'll
right?
find the picture.
Uh-huh. Sarah said she'll find a picture. I'm sure she'll find many of them.
I was thinking of the outfit for Eric's wedding, but
Huh?
outfit for Eric's wedding that you made me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we should post that sometime. The
one of all
last
three of us.
the last outfit that I posted, the last outfit that I sewed for my daughter. After that, she would not have any more of it. But it was in style then. Okay, so here we're going to come. We're going to go ahead and we're kind of doing what we did with the first one down here. We're laying it on the side. And coming back to the beginning. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip it upwards at a 90-degree angle. And I know I'm doing, I guess, this should be basically a night of Christmas borders. I know I'm doing a lot of Christmas borders here, but we can also make any of these into a circular rotation too. And we're going to go number 3. This is our third holly leaf. Now, something I want to talk about, and that is when we get to here and we know we're going to do one or the other side twice. It's up to you which side you want to do. Now, because I came in a counterclockwise direction, that does not mean I have to put my heavy side to the left. I can still come back and put it to the right. Let me show you what I mean. Now I'm going in a clockwise direction. Okay, the reason I opted to do this, there we go. I'm going to show you right here. The reason that I opted to do this is because I have this little piece of holly leaf overrunning the holly leaf next to it. In the grand scheme of things, does that make sense? Probably not.
Pull the camera back just a little bit.
Okay. Oh, God pulls the camera back, Sarah said. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, does this matter? I don't think it does. But if you're OCD, which of course I'm not, but I know Jan is. Jan told me she is, yeah. So now I'm going to come and do my next one, and this is going to be a single holly leaf. So now this one, I'm going to go ahead and go to the top. I'm going to go to the left. Because what I want you to see is that in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter which way you put it. My foot just came loose. So now I'm going to come up, put my second leaf in. And I just discovered something. I didn't know that you could do this. If you put the top of the leaf down here, you don't run over the leaves next to it. I didn't know that. And here's my third leaf. Okay, so what I've got here, let's go over this, okay? I have got, make sure you can see. Okay. I've got my double stitching on the inside. I put my double stitching on the outside. So this time I am going to come back and put my double stitching on the bottom side, on the inside. But more importantly, let's take a look at this, okay? What we did on this one, and guys, I'm just figuring this out for myself. I didn't know that this did that this was a thing. I put the leaf right side up. I put it right side up here, and I put it right side up here. And this is my right side, and it's going out. Now here, I put the right side to, I started it here. Let me take this out so it's easier to see. I want you to really get a grasp on what I'm doing here, okay? Okay. Here, I call this the bottom side of the leaf. I put it here, here, and here. So each 3 leaves, the bottom side met in the center. And we ended up getting this little overhang on each of those leaves. Okay? Here, I put the bottom side next to the top side. Then I switched it up so that all 3 of the top sides of these leaves are in the center and they don't overlap each other. So we have 2 different ways we can do this. Make them overlap by putting the bottom side together, or keep them from overlapping by putting the top side together. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Jan, you're absolutely right. I would do the berries as well. Okay. Yeah, the berries there will be fine, Lori. They really will. Yeah, it's interesting, Linda. It's kind of cool how that works. And you know what? Quite honestly, I think a lot of us, this is how we find stuff out. This is how we discover these little ins and outs. And I love doing it. Okay, so I'm going to give up here on our holly berries and holly leaves because I do have one more. I know we're going to run out of time. I always do. But there is one more that I want to show you. And it's going to be on this piece of fabric. Boy, I really try to keep these fabrics good and straight, but you should see my table. Okay, so while I'm pulling this out, I will give you a sneak peek of the puppies, okay? I'm going to put Sarah on the floor with treats for them because that's about the only way it's going to work. Yeah, they can use those. Bring them right over here.
All right, puppies, who wants a treat? Come on.
Make them sit.
I'm going to sit. Tippy wants to. Look at Mama. No, sit.
The one closest to me, this is my border collie.
Good girl.
Okay. And then we've got 2 miniature Australian Shepherds. They are brothers. Give me
Come on,
one.
Tippy.
And the middle one is Bo.
That's Bo.
Whoops, that's Bo. And
Tippy.
the tiny one over there is Casey. Yeah, they get a little excited when they have treats involved. But those are my babies that you hear up in my room with me.
Yes,
I love having them here. They love being here. And in the beginning, they really believed whenever they heard noises, there was people talking to them. So I had to kind of train them. You have two border collies, Janice. Oh, Terry, yes, I knew you had one. I knew you had one.
Jan wants to know what the names or numbers of the Christmas rulers she's having trouble finding.
Okay, yes, we will do that. Thank you, Regina, my friend. Sandy, Ada. I know they're just my babies. They're just.
I picked a thing too right there.
Okay, well, I'm not ready quite yet, but okay. This is a little bonus one, okay? And what this is it's, I'll bet you can guess, a candy cane. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Oh, Susie, if you want to come babysit for me, I'll let you anytime. Oh, that's the only problem with having fur babies. You just can't go out anytime you want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little border here with crossing these templates over. And what I did was I've got 3 lines here. And I'm just going to line up that center line on the diagonal. And I hope I do this right because I tried this earlier. I don't know where I put my paper for it. I had a piece of paper, so I knew what I was doing, but as you could see, my desk is a mess. So if I don't do this right, I apologize. I'm going to start at the bottom of the template. And we are going to travel on this design. And my foot goes down. Okay. Now, what's really important is you need to know how you are lining up these lines. I am lining up this line, and this line on my center, my vertical center. Okay. And here we go. And we're going to just go one.
Yeah. It's a piece of work. You're going to have to deal with it. Marcia's going to do it.
All the way around. You see how easy this is to get? It really sews beautifully. And even though you've got roundness on here, you don't have to do those itsy bitsy teeny tiny stitches. Okay. Now where I've got to come is up. Oh, I wish I had find my paper. Okay, it's not that one. Not that one. Making my dogs crazy.
I thought it was this one, Mom.
No, it's not. Okay, we're gonna come up. Oh, and I did move my stuff here. And we're going to stop right here. And that's on that vertical line. Now you're going to have to excuse me because I was looking for my paper and couldn't find it. And I kind of just made a whole big mess over there.
Faux pas.
My faux pas? Yeah, that's one good way of putting it, honey. Okay, so now I need to come. There we go. I did. Yeah, this way. So now what we're doing is we're putting the candy cane crook, the crook of the cane, opposite directions. And we're actually going to line up okay, I'm going to get this. Okay, there we go. We're going to line up that vertical line again right here, and you'll see this is the part that has all of the lines in it. So we're just going to lay that on here, and let's cross our fingers and hope this works. Because heaven knows I've never made a mistake before, right? And they're going to come like this. Now, what should happen and I say this should because if I didn't hold everything steady, it won't. It should happen if I come up to where these two lines cross right here and I stop. Now I'm going to take my template off. I'm going to flip it over. Okay. And I am going to line it up. And we're going to keep going. Oh my goodness, you guys should take away my instructions more often. This is easier than the way I did it the first time. And now we're going to come back here. And we're going to meet on the horizontal line. Okay. We're going to flip it again. Push that through. Again, we're going to line up all of our lines. There we go. Beautiful. Whoopsie. Oh, my finger caught there. This could easily be done as an edge-to-edge design. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and stop right there. And there it is. There it is. What do you guys think? I kind of sometimes look at things and go, oh, I did that. Yeah, I did. It turned out better than I expected it to. So I'm pretty happy with that one. So you all now can get your Christmas projects made because you know how to put all of these. Oh, the candy cane Susie. Yeah, Susie says she's impressed how well we went around that thin point in that candy cane. That's learning to move comfortably, and you will. I'm sure you already do. I know so many of you, and I've seen so many of your work and have been totally impressed with your work. So what we're going to do here is I am going to split my screen here for a second, guys. Okay.
Well, we got the drawing.
We've got the drawing, but we also want to get Okay, let's take a look at where we're going to get those templates. Okay. We're going to go to Donna McCauley. These are all Donna McCauley's templates. So we're going to go down to her page, and I'm looking for it here. There's candy cane, or there's kids. Okay, so here is, I'm going to get the candy cane out for you here. Okay, I'm going to copy that. Hang with me, guys. You know, this would be a good thing to do, to have ready before we start.
Go on.
No.
You mean be prepared? Shut up.
Listen to them. They are so nasty. Okay, so, whoops, here we go. Well, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying really hard. Okay, copy. And we're going to paste a comment. This first one I am posting is the candy canes.
Hey, stop that.
Okay, and then the next one we're going to post.
Where are you posting that
I know
at? There it goes.
I know
Okay.
it's okay.
Just came
It
through.
takes a couple
It
seconds.
takes a couple
The
seconds. Yeah.
delay.
Okay.
I did the candy cane, and now
Hey.
let's do the bells.
Stop it, you two. Is it almost time for?
Yep, pretty close.
That's why he's.
We go outside and then we come in and we binge.
And they know what time it is.
They know when 8 o'clock is, I guarantee you that.
Okay, so if you hear the chatter in the background, what you're hearing is the fact that my dogs know when it's time for their treat. And that is to eat popcorn and watch TV with Daddy. And it's getting dangerously close.
Casey's on the verge of letting go. He's really holding back.
What do you want, Betty?
Okay, so here are the bells. Now let's find those trees.
Gotta go outside.
Yeah.
Time to go poop.
Well,
That's a good
You
idea.
can go now because I mean you took off early last time anyway.
I might as well just make a habit out of it.
Okay, I'm bringing up the holly leaves next.
Oh. Even cushions get hard after a while.
Okay,
Let's go poop. Come on, let's go.
Go on,
and next time, guys, I will have
Come on, Jimmy, let's
these
go poop.
set up beforehand.
she's gonna stay.
I had a very long day today and yes, there is a Mrs. Claus sampler set, Melanie. There is, and that's okay. Sounds like Lori, you're all in the same boat as to what, hon? Okay, and let's go ahead and find that last one, and we should be good. Okay. Okay. You know, this is doing this is kind of still new to me, and I want to make sure that I get you all of the information that you want. And there it is. I found Mrs. Claus. Now this one I don't have, but I did show you several of the templates from tonight. And there we go. And this should be the last one. And you all know how to get a hold of me. If you would like, you're always welcome to call me or text or whatever. Sandy, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Ken will be sleeping with the fur babies tonight for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sandy. Suzanne, yeah, we can do wider borders as well. There's no doubt about it. The problem I have is time. Why don't we want to see your sewing room, Lori? Oh, Susie says she doesn't want anybody to see her sewing room. The candy grades, Lori, are awesome. Yeah, they are. I am so glad that you guys liked it. I appreciate you being here so much. And I love coming here. I love coming in. And oh, well, this is going to be interesting. CM, if you have a question that you don't understand, please go ahead and get a hold of me. You can do it through the instructor page. Go find out what's going on out there.
I know what's going on. Connor just got back.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, yeah, Anita, they are fun. It is, where can they be found? Sally, you can find them at sosei.com. You can click on any one of these links and we will have them. And if you want, you can always get a hold of me and I can help get them for you, okay? KP, thank you. Appreciate it. Jan, awesome. I am so glad. And I'm looking forward to Thursday, our Thursday class. So our next template is Spin and Echo 12. Remember, these are the ones that I always pull out and go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this? And it turns out we always have something to do with it. And I will have the link to it next week when we meet. Now, tomorrow we're going to be working with the Artisan Curve Marquee templates in the morning at 8 o'clock Central Time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. I'm so sorry. It's so early, guys. But the problem I can't move it because I do have a class here in town that starts at 10 a.m. So I would be happy to move it if I could, but my schedule is always so full. I don't know. Don't know how that happened, but it did, and I like it. It's really good. And then Thursday we are going to do our second to last class for our Cali Star Quilts. If you guys haven't seen those, please go to Westerly by me. You are going to see some of the most beautiful quilts that you have ever seen. This class has just totally blown me away, blown my socks off, has exceeded every expectation that I ever set up for a class. And they are showing them off, and I am so, so proud of my girls. And we're going to do some template quilting on them too. So I'm really pleased about that. So don't forget. Yes, Linda, thank you. They are. They really are. Oh, don't make me cry, Regina. Oh, thank you. I so much appreciate that. And Susie, well, doggone those doctors. Can't they move those appointments for you? Thank you, Debbie, so much. Okay, I really need to get going here. I've kept you guys long enough. Oh, Anita, I love spending time with you guys. I really do. You're like my family. You really are. Terry, we'll see you in the morning, darling. So until we meet next time, let's quilt.